Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer and welcome to my daily silver stacking video. Thank you for tuning in, and if you are someone who wants a chance, who wants an opportunity to win some silver, click subscribe, go to the link in the description. That's the entry video. May the luckiest stacker win. Now, a lot is happening in the world of precious metals, specifically silver, and we're going to talk about all that today, folks. I know things could look scary right now. I know prices are still declining, and who knows how low it could go. But as a true silver stacker, which I'm sure most of you are, hopefully all of you, you're just buying all the silver you can right now as spot price is decreasing, right? That only means that we get to buy silver for cheaper, lowering our dollar per ounce average, because I can promise you, I can assure you, prices are not going to stay that low. The dollar's not always going to stay this strong, and we're basing all of this off speculation, right? We're assuming what the FOMC, what the feds are going to say, and that is leading to, false pricing, basically. So we're going to look at all of this. We might even go into this video, depending upon, how late we get into the video. I don't like my videos to be too long, but regardless, we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Make sure you like this video. I would love for you to participate. Let me know what you think about all this stuff as well, where you think silver prices are going to go by the end of 2021. Link to these articles will be in the description. Let's jump into it. So silver declines as minutes from the Fed showed more hawkish monetary policy. Now, this was written today, 8/20/2021, so it's fresh off the press. And let's jump into it. So silver yesterday settled down by 0.56%, and that's as minutes from the U.S. Fed, which showed policymakers agreed to make a more hawkish monetary policy stance still this year. The number of Americans filing new claims for unemployment benefits fell for a fourth straight period to a new level of 348,000 in the week ending August 14th. Federal Reserve officials felt their unemployment benchmark for decreasing support for the economy, quote unquote, could be reached this year, but appeared to disagree on other key aspects of where monetary policy should turn next in the transition from this crisis, according to minutes from last month's policy meeting. So let's look at what they're talking about. The account of the July 27th, 28th meeting showed Fed officials largely expect that later this year, they will reduce the central bank's emergency monthly purchase of $120 billion of treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. It remains unclear whether the heightened outbreak of this crisis variant will have a noticeable impact on the economy. The Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said, Minneapolis Federal Reserve President Neil Kashkari said it could be reasonable to start reducing the Fed's bond buying program later this year, though it would depend on making further progress in the labor market. So, it's looking like they might be cutting back on spending, and that's what this article right here is going to dive more into. And if they do that, that shows hope that the economy's in recovery. People are going to trust the system more. They're going to trust the government more, trust and have faith in the dollar, which in return boosts the dollar up, which then in return pushes gold and silver down. And since silver is already been getting hammered from other previous things, it's just going to look worse. But as the downward direction goes, there's going to be a bottom eventually. It's not just going to keep going down. People are going to start buying up, but from this situation that's happening right now, more people are going to sell. So we have an interesting situation where we don't know what the new low is going to be, but I can guarantee that eventually people are going to realize that that is just a steal for silver, buy it back up, and it's going to kickstart things. But regardless, the only reason this is affecting you right now is if you're either panic selling or buying. And I hope none of you are selling at these prices, and hopefully you're just taking advantage. So anyways, this article explains more. I did want to kind of show that first one since it did give a lot of context. So silver prices are currently in wait and see mode as traders shift attention to the Fed's Jackson Hole meeting for clues on the precious metals' next big move. The Jackson Hole meeting. That's what everything is about right now. Minutes from the Fed's reserve policy, the July monetary policy meeting released this week showed central bank policymakers saw the potential to start tapering their massive quantitative easing program, which is QE, before the end of the year. However, the minutes also magnified the importance of the next few months' jobs reports, with solid gains needed to meet the Fed's expectations and show that this crisis has not begun to again slow the economy. So it's looking like they're trying to show that there is faith, there is hope. Looking ahead, silver's price direction will likely be determined by the Fed's Jackson Hole symposium scheduled for next week. So we do have some things to pay attention to. Obviously, I'm going to keep you in the loop. I always give you the scoop, tell you the stuff you need to know, not the stuff you don't need to know. So traders expect Fed policymakers could use this event as a platform to announce plans around the highly anticipated wind down of their quantitative program, as well as interest rate hikes. As always, any new information will likely open the door for fresh volatility ahead. And that's the part that I'm talking about, that we have to be careful with, pay attention to, and try to, use to our advantage. Adjusting and adapting is critical. A lot of this stuff, especially if they do start to slow quantitative easing, if they do start to, if interest rates are looking in favor of the dollar, it's definitely going to hurt precious metals. But how long? It's never that, it's never very long lived, and that's because so much affects the price of gold and silver. Every week there's something new happening. But regardless, that is what's happening over the next week. We'll pay attention to it. I'm going to cover it, and we'll always know what's going on. Because imagine people that aren't watching this video. Imagine people that don't pay attention to this stuff. If they're just blindly investing, they're not setting themselves up for a very a very profitable future. You have to be kept in the loop. So let's look at where prices are heading next. This is from the commodity report. They're going to look at latest price forecasts and predictions. So they're going to give some context, some insight, throw their 2 cents in on where they think silver's headed. Let's jump into it.
So as we get towards the end of the week here, what do you need to be aware of? Well, in the last week, we have seen hedge funds and money managers, they've reduced their overall net long position on silver by 10%. That's very much been reflected by the charts this week, where we have seen silver under pressure and still underperforming relative to gold. In fact, the gold to silver ratio has broken out again today, up 1%, and it's currently trading at 9-month highs. This is similar with the gold to platinum ratio, which is up 2% today, trading back at 7-month highs, and also the gold to copper ratio, which is actually trading all the way back at 9-month highs. So essentially gold continues to outperform the other metals. We've also got the dollar index at the moment trading back at 9-month highs, although gold has been relatively unmoved, even with a strong dollar here. Goes back to our point last week. We built into 4 new positions on gold last week, which are currently up just under 2,000 points in total. So of course, for every 1 lot contract that you'd be trading, that's $20,000 of profit. For every 10 lot contract that you'd be trading, that's $200,000 of profit. So we continue to hold on to our gold core position here. In fact, we favor gold to outperform silver here in the short term. Going back to our point on gold, which we recorded earlier in the week for you, essentially our expectation was this week that gold would remain range bound, that we would see 1770 to 1800 as the range. And essentially, after the minutes of the FOMC statement on Wednesday, gold did pull back down towards the 1770s, and it subsequently found resistance again just under 1800. So that's played out really nicely this week for gold to continue to consolidate, but overall, so far, holding on to the gains from last week. And then as we go into next week, the shift in focus is going to be onto the Jackson Hole Symposium and comments from Jerome Powell. That will be watched very closely for big opportunities which get presented during the volatility of the Jackson Hole Symposium. That's next Thursday and Friday. This week, again, has been a classic example of...
Now, as he said, the gold to silver ratio is at 9-month highs, and as that directly means that gold has been outperforming silver, and that is because what gold and silver are used for are slightly different. Silver is more volatile. it's like gold on steroids. It's a more exaggerated, more extreme, more dramatic version of gold. So what gold does, silver does tenfold. And as we also see these things being affected by the dollar right now, gold is a monetary metal. So we're going to see silver, which doesn't have the same type of effectiveness in these markets as gold does when we're looking at the dollar compared to the industrial sector, things that silver really benefits from. Yes, gold is going to stand stronger, right? Silver benefits whether the economy is in good or bad shape, but we haven't really got into the industrial aspect, the solar panels, the electric vehicles. All that stuff is the next several years to come. But right now, things are still going to be rocky. They're going to be shaky because silver hasn't really had its time to shine when we're looking at what really makes it shine, which is the industrial side of things. Now, like he said, the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is next Thursday and Friday, are heavily going to affect precious metals prices, so we'll have to stay tuned to that as well. So what are your thoughts? Do you invest into gold and silver? Do you solely invest into silver? And if you do, what are your thoughts on this? Are you a little wary? Do you have faith in silver? Do you see silver's true value and understand that it is worth a lot more than low $23? And are you taking advantage of that? I'm going to keep you updated on this. I'm also going to keep you updated on anything else that happens in the world of silver or precious metals in general. I use several different sites. I dig up a lot of research, and I'm always going to show you the newest information. Today, a lot of stuff came out. As you can see, today's the 20th, so there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's been about 20 different articles that came out on silver today. I picked the top 2, the most important, relevant ones, and I made a video on it. But I could have made 20 different videos, essentially. A lot of information. In the last 2 days, there's been, probably 40, 50 articles. This whole page is in the last 2 days, and I'm sure if I went to page 2, there'd be more that were written yesterday. So there's tons of information coming out on silver, tons of different news, but I'm always going to give you the most important stuff, and that's why you have to be subscribed, right? Every single day. I'm going to let you know what's up, and that's very important. You cannot be blindly investing. In today's day and age, that's more like gambling. So, with that said, I hope you do like this video. I hope you found it educational, informational, at least entertaining. I would love for you to participate after you like the video. Let me know what you think about this. But if you want a chance to also win some silver, click subscribe, click the bell, and go enter the video. The entry video is in the description. It's still open. You don't want to miss it, trust me. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.